Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and for this being the last review for the month of November. And that's right, save the best for last, right next to the review from earlier today, from Willy Wonka. So, that's right, I'm reviewing none other than Toy Story. Yes, Toy Story. Because Toy Story, what do I have to say? Because, because this was the world's first ever computer animated feature film. And, I gotta say, because, as you know, I've reviewed the other Toy Story films, of course, the Toy Story sequels. And I gotta say, and get ready for what I'm about to say, okay? Brace yourselves. I don't know. I'm not really into the first Toy Story film. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I hate it. Do I think it's good? Yes. And, and it's a masterpiece and et cetera, et cetera. Of course, absolutely. But I guess, it's just that I'm really into the sequels, especially, I've said this before, that I absolutely love Toy Story 2, and right next to that, Toy Story 3. So those are my two favorite Toy Story films in the Toy Story franchise. So Toy Story itself, the first one, of course. Well, I've got to say, because, I remember because, like, the history and, like, behind the scenes of that, everybody was kind of doubting this, as from what I heard, like a computer animated feature, like, everybody just knew it was gonna flop and etc. And, when, like, Disney, was doing a buddy picture with Pixar, and before Toy Story, like, Pixar at times helped Disney with some of their films, like, with some CG and background, and it came up to when, Disney was trying to lure John Lasseter into doing a Disney film, like, directing a Disney film, but Lasseter refused and, stayed on the side of Pixar, and Peter Schneider at the time, who was, one of the heads at Disney, called up Ed Catmull, and, asked if, they could do a movie and such. And, Ed Catmull's response to Peter Schneider was, and according to him, that they think they would like to try to make a 30-minute film, TV film. And Peter Schneider was like, forget that, make a full-length feature, just, let's, just really go for it. Make a, like, 60-minute or 90-minute picture, well, not 90-minute picture, but I think 60-minute picture, whatever. And, like, Ed Catmull was like, okay, I'll buy that. Yeah, so, and thus, began the production and, the buddy picture of Toy Story. And even, like, say, at times when they were getting notes from Disney to make some changes, and especially, most notably, the big one for them was Katzenberg, who at the time was, one of the heads at Disney, running the animation. And Katzenberg wanted to make Toy Story a bit edgy, a little bit more for adults, not just for the kids. It didn't end well, I'll tell you that. Making Woody a huge jerk, and it was almost going to be shut down. Production was almost about to be shut down, but Pixar would not let that happen, and they were like, give us 2 weeks, and, we want to make it, make it the way we want to make it. And it worked, and yeah, let Pixar do what they do. They know what they're doing. They're Pixar's, especially those who were doing Toy Story, like the writers, from John, Pete, Andrew, and Joe. Yep, so, yeah, and nobody could have expected how much of a success Toy Story was. It was a monster hit, And of course, the animation, I'd say it's okay. I mean, my gosh, look at Toy Story 4, and look at Toy Story 4 and this. Could you imagine? Can you believe that? you know what I mean. But anyways, so, like, it's, because we see, Woody is, Andy's favorite toy, and, Andy's birthday's happening, and he gets a Buzz Lightyear action figure for his birthday, and, Woody being sad and jealous. Yeah, there's jealousy to Woody. Andy is paying more attention to Buzz than him, you know, and also the other toys, like there's Rex. And fun fact is, I heard about this. Like Josh Whedon, he was one of the writers for Toy Story, and he helped create Rex. Yeah, and I remember hearing from the commentary of Toy Story 2 that Lasseter said that when they were developing Toy Story, and at the time when Jurassic Park came out, they thought the T-Rex was so cool, they decided to throw in a T-Rex toy in the film. Good things, you know. It's all thanks to Jurassic Park and the T-Rex, of course. The other toys like Ham and Mr. Potato Head, Bo Peep and Rocky and Lenny, Edge and Bill the Snake, and what's the robot's name that's like, you know, right next with Bill the Snake? I can't remember. And the shark that's in the toy chest, and he got a hold of Woody's hat, you know, I'm Woody, howdy, 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 you know, aha, give me that. And the kid from next door, Sid Phillips. Yeah, I mean, you know, some people say that he's a villain, but I see him as a villain to the toys. It's obvious. Come on, it's really obvious. He is a villain to the toys, you know what I'm saying? Makes total sense. There's also, and let me tell you, because, like, at the time because when this came out, and, like, say, how the humans looked, like, the toys in the film look great, but the humans, as of now, because looking at how the humans looked back then, really outdated, I should say, and a bit awkward. Yeah, because that, you know, them looking awkward, like the humans and the dog, and only one animal was there, which was Scud, you know, Sid's dog, and they look a bit awkward, and, you know, nod to what Doug Walker, aka Nostalgia Critic, said in his review, Toy Story of Disney-cember. Yeah, they do look a bit awkward, you know, at least for Scud. He's decent, you know, something else, yeah, and even, like, Sid being horrible to his little sister, Hannah, yeah, and, Jimmy's all better now. God, Sid, you know, you want to smack him. And all the, all of Sid's toys, you know, they seem cool and such, you know, and, like, it's the aftermath of what he did to them, but, you know, and, you know, Woody thinks that they're cannibals at first, but, you know, halfway in the film, like, you know, when he thinks they're attacking Buzz, you know, he realizes that, you know, they fixed Buzz because at one point, you know, well, here's another thing, because I'm kind of, like, going back and forth around, you know, talking about this film, like, that whole sequence where they're at Pizza Planet, and with the squeezed aliens, or the LGMs, short for Little Green Men, and, you know, Sid getting a hold of Buzz and Woody, you know, of the claw, and also Buzz realizing at one point that he's not a toy. Well, oh my gosh, I got that backwards. He's not a Space Ranger. Jeez, he's a toy. There. And, yeah, and some of the, I almost forgot to mention, like, the music and songs by Randy Newman, fantastic, and Buzz, you know, like, and the song that plays, you know, when Buzz realizes he's not a Space Ranger, and I was almost about to say toy. You know, the song is about Buzz, like, I guess, yeah, like, it's supposed to be, like, him singing in his mind, I guess. I don't know, but you get my point. And, you know, it can't be true. I could fly if I wanted to. Like, it's showing that, you know, Buzz, you know, doesn't want to believe it, and, you know, I am a Space Ranger. And he climbs on top, you know, and, like, activates his wings, jumps, and thinks he's about to fly out in the window, but nope, he drops, and it says it all for him. And Buzz being totally depressed, and, you know, when Hannah got a hold of Buzz, and, you know, Mrs. Nesbit, you know, I am Mrs. Nesbit. And if you noticed, like, the carpet on top of the second floor of Sid's house, it's the same material, like, design, the look of the carpet is the same as, like, say, in The Shining, which, of course, like, the people at Pixar, they like The Shining, especially, like, one of them being Lee Unkrich. So, yeah. Trying to remember, yeah, because, so like, Buzz gets the rocket, duct taped on him, because, Sid got a package, which was a rocket, extremely dangerous, keep out of reach of children. Cool. And, yeah, so Buzz gets the rocket strapped on him, and that sequence where, Buzz and Woody, they're talking, and Woody's telling Buzz that, he is a cool toy, and, being a toy is cool, etc. And, Buzz realizes that Woody is right, and, he helps he helps Woody get out of there, but, Sid waking up, and he takes Buzz outside, and Woody gets help from Sid's toys, and they pretty much dramatize and scare the living daylights out of Sid, so play nice. And, Sid being scarred for life, and a quick mentioning of the deleted scenes, like, the alternate version of the toy scaring Sid, very different, and I think what we got in the final film is a lot better. So, and that whole chase sequence, with the moving van and Scud being there too, and then Woody gets RC, Buzz and Woody ride on RC, and at one point RC loses gas, and Slinky trying to reach for them, and apparently, because Andy's little baby sister Molly sees that happening outside of the car window, and we hear Hakuna Matata playing, and this came out a year after The Lion King, so yeah, and of course they realize, well, Buzz still has the rocket strapped onto him, so light up a match, and I like what Woody says, wait a minute, I just lit up a rocket, rockets explode. And yep, no kidding. And of course, RC crashes into Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head kind of deserved it, because one thing about Toy Story, Mr. Potato Head, he was kind of a jerk in that film. I'm just saying, I liked him better in the sequels, okay? And no disrespect to Don Rickles, you get my point. You probably understand what I'm saying. What else? Oh, yeah, because that famous scene, hey, Buzz, you're flying. This isn't flying. This is falling with style. And Woody's saying to infinity and beyond, and the cool shots and memorable shots of them flying, and they land into Andy's mom's van, and Andy thinking he lost both Woody and Buzz, but, they were in the car the whole time. And of course the epilogue, because one plot in the film, I probably plot, I don't know, is that Andy and his mom and Molly, they were all planning to move, and this was after Andy had his birthday, and the epilogue, we see them at their new home, in which would be in the rest of the Toy Story sequels, and it's Christmas time, and because for one thing, some mentionings of because in the beginning of the film, and with Andy's birthday and Christmas, the Green Army Men, and the late great R. Lee, because voicing Sarge, gotta mention him, on the radio and letting the toys know in Andy's room, what presents Andy got, and for Christmas, one of them is a Mrs. Potato Head, and Mr. Potato Head, I gotta shave. He takes off his mustache. And Woody, because Woody and Bo Peep, they kiss under the mistletoe that Bo Peep, Bo Peep's sheep had, a bit of mistletoe. And that's pretty funny when, Woody gets up on the bed and, it talks with Buzz. All the kisses around Woody, that's funny. And of course, last part of that film is as the camera pans out, the window, and we hear on the walkie-talkie, the radio, Andy got a puppy, wow, a puppy! And the camera zooms back in fast at Woody and Buzz, and they look at each other it's uh-oh, they have to deal with a dog. But you know what, because in Toy Story 2, Buster, he gets along so well with the toys, as we see. So yeah, and that's where the movie ends. So I gotta say, Toy Story is, I can't deny it. It's, you know, it's a masterpiece, and for it being the first ever computer animated feature film, and you know, everybody trying to be Toy Story, colorful, that kind of stuff, and you know. But anyways, and for Toy Story, how do I rate this? 10 out of 10, of course. I give this a 10 out of 10. And you guys let me know what you think of Toy Story. You know, what you thought of my review. You know, give this review a like as always, and leave comments down below. And, you know, this was a perfect way for this being the last review for November, because, for one thing, you know, hey, because Christmas being at the end of Toy Story, and you know, December's right around the corner, pretty much. So there you go. So that's it for you know, for the reviews of this month, and Toy Story of Willy Wonka and Toy Story being the last two reviews of November. And yep, December will be coming tomorrow. So again, 10 out of 10 for Toy Story. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Toy Story. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And yep, again, December literally coming tomorrow, and you know what that means. Reviewing Christmassy films are on the way, so stay tuned for that. Take care, peace out, and to infinity and beyond.